Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's time for more Masters of the World. I'm your Leos Kelvin. So, we continue now with our long, hard road. It really is one, isn't it? Ugh. I can't believe it's come to this, but, I mean, we need to start looking at disbanding our control over the service sector in as many areas as possible. I don't think I'm going to completely get rid of it. I mean, here's some of the things I'm looking at right now. Like, reducing to minority shareholder here is worth 311 billion. I think that's the key with a lot of the service sector, really, is becoming a minority shareholder. Rather than outrightly giving it up. It's, I think, going to end up becoming the theme of my government. Minority shareholder in everything. We did lose 3 billion in GDP from our taxes, by the way. As it turns out, we have some problems with that. Who knows? The inflationary rate continues to drop, to 2.89, which I'm pretty happy about, actually, because we're closing in on the world average, which is very good. Our exchange rate is, 0.94 at this point. And increasing rapidly. So, we're doing well. Tourism professionals complain. Alright. But, as I said, there are going to be a lot of things in general. Services being probably one of the big ones we can start with here, I suppose. Minority shareholder. That's worth 700 billion. And I can almost stomach giving it away. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Like, I'm just sort of hesitating right now because I did see industry GDP go down. Okay, it's going up again. Good. That's what we like to see. That's where we like to see things. We started at 2080 this year. Hopefully we'll do well. Public liberties. It's specified that a police force is omnipresent and can punish any citizen, judging him or her directly. The international law is frowned upon, but after all, who cares? We're still under control here, right? Interesting. I mean, I'd like to have a word with them. Civil liberties and all that jazz. The shit I do for these guys. But I am totally going to reduce the blood alcohol. A little bit there. Very good. Actually, our crime rate's pretty good now. Down to 3.52. Like, that's the world average. I mean, like, we're closing in, like, Europe levels, which I'm happy about. But yeah, let's go with the whole civil liberties idea, shall we? Apparently. Internationally, it's frowned upon with our police force. Apparently, we're just taking cultural prizes here because I'm probably the only person in the world funding culture at this point. I really should also stop funding the national youth movement. But hey, look, right now we have a lot of youth, right? And I'm just saying, when they become adults, it would be really helpful if they supported wars. That being said... like, it's sad the international community doesn't actively take part in it. It's like, hey, you know what the best way for me to improve my human rights record is? Hey, tell me what the problems with my human rights record is. I will totally go for it. Hell, legalize prostitution and regulate it. And continue reducing the blood alcohol level. Sure, Alexander. Yeah. Accept.
Good morning.
Alright. Natural gas? Yeah. Let's not. There we are. Crime rate looks like it's slowly increasing. One would expect crime rate to go down if I legalize prostitution.
The decree.
Yeah. There. Yeah. Omnipresent fucking everything's. Good. Human rights. Yeah, everyone seems to be happy with the human rights. Good. We'll leave it at weak for now. It depends on, like, the increase in crime rate. We see, I might bump that up to average. There. Either way, that should hopefully help reining in the police force a fair bit. Alright. So, human rights record aside now. Where were we? There's always something to deal with, eh? Legalization of prostitution. That's against women's rights? Dear Lord. Right, you're one of those crazy people who don't actually understand what rights are. I think prostitution's a bad thing, so it should be banned. It's women's rights, because I'm a woman and I'm saying it. It's not how it works. Women now have the option to sell their body, and most importantly, forced prostitution will be reduced as a result of that. For anyone wondering. Because then we have it legalized and regulated. And it's surprisingly more expensive to force people in prostitution than find people who just willingly partake in it. In addition, you know, you can go to the cops about it now. Which is pretty good. You know, but that's just my 2 cents as to why illegal prostitution is probably just universally a good thing. Nope, can't tax prostitution, damn. I thought that's what regulation was. Or was that covered under pornography industry? Possession, moral freedom, child protection, respect to the individual. Yep. Yeah. I really want to put in a Tobin tax, but it doesn't earn enough that it will be particularly useful. It's a good tax to have, but it tends to hurt growth too much for how little you get out of it. Alright. So the excess is pretty good right now. We've now legalized prostitution and, you know, really improved human rights. More human rights. People complaining about security, it's less of a problem, I'm sure. The crime rate, yeah, it's barely budged at all at this point. We have barely any violent deaths. Drug addiction rate on its way down. We're giving people help, you know? We are working our asses off to get people help for that. And I'm very proud. Like, we're fighting drug addiction hugely. You know, we've got social centers, psychiatric hospitals, multidisciplinary research center, you say? I don't suppose that means what I think it means. It does. It does. Our rate of science is just going to go through the roof now. I have no idea if this is a good rate of science, or, you know, how many countries actually have this many researchers. And at this point, I'm afraid to ask. I should really, like, load up as the US at the start or something. Just be like, how many, goodness in the labs? Yeah, I know. We're trying to hire literally as many people as possible. Doing our best. But, hopefully Hopefully it'll help. And missile launcher. We need to steal more from Luxembourg. I guess we actually haven't been able to steal anything from Luxembourg in a while. I think I might have to go on to a more technologically advanced nation or something. Or just cut out spying in general. Yeah. We'll budget you for like 11 agents. Minister for Homeland Security's already pretty pissy with me. He's probably not gonna like this. Director of the Intelligence Agency's still okay-ish with me. Hyundai membership application. Accept. Has anyone actually managed... Ooh, that's not good for Argentina. Has anyone actually managed to join BRICS proper yet? Like, that's what I'm interested in. Like, I know I was the first one. Yeah, Armenia has. Outside of that, no, not really. No one's managed to get the, everything. It's fine, I mean, I have a huge access to these markets here now, with, you know, friggin' China being in it. That's the best thing for me. Well. And then, you know, we get into the ComC market through that as well. So, we have a lot going for us in our position. Question is... What is this? The Arab Maghreb Union. Noted. Commonwealth. Ah, yes. The Organization of Islamic Conference. Yeah, we're not an Islamic country. Sorry. We have a lot of Islamists in our country, but we are trying to work on educating them into atheists. Doing our best. And there's so many fucking common markets everywhere, and it's really hard to fucking figure any shit out here. As to who's who. Ah, well. I was being a member of the African Union first. I love how bad our efficiency influence index is for any African-related thing. That's one of the reasons why I like BRICS. It's actually kind of useful. Not ideal, obviously, but could be worse, I suppose. Even the G8's only scoring 3 stars. EU scoring 4 stars, not bad. The ICC doesn't have a rating because it's different. NAFTA, yeah, only 2 stars. The Arab League? Interesting. OECD. Yep, okay. Issuance of 16 billion in debt, eh? You sure about that? I don't know. I don't know. The game seems to think that debt to be issued. Yep. I accept Burundi. I have no problem with it. Seriously, I can't get the really bad rating with diplomatic rating with South Sudan. I don't know why.
We are going to violate this country's territory.
Don't necessarily attack, I just want to create border incidents and start fucking with them. But I'm just like, hang on. I should probably put the army under my direct control before I do that, just to make sure that, for whatever reason, the AI doesn't assume I want to, you know, actually go to war. This... Yeah, let's place the armed forces under my direct control. So
we are going to...
When I do just sort of violate casually, and then turn around, Make this sort of thing a regular occurrence. Should probably wait 3 days between various violations and ultimatums. Like I said, I just want them to open fire first. That's all I need. Bridge incidents, yo. Don't forget them. They work well. But I'm really hoping to try and... wow. Yeah, we're having a lot of nuclear-based disasters. Jesus Christ. Alright, whatever. That's fine. What's in the news? Like, as I go on, my people are becoming more and more okay with war, because we have a massive population spike right now. Alright? That is now entering its voting age in early 20s. Exactly where I want them to be. Which is kinda good. Kinda sorta pretty okay. You know? They're entering the workforce now, which is probably going to is what's causing my unemployment issues, if I had to guess. I mean, there's only so many jobs one can create. So the fact I'm actually, yeah, that's them entering the workforce. Trying to get that under control is going to be impossible. Industry? Yeah, sure. Allowing industry results. No, I mean, industry's grown 50. And the first... just over a quarter? Yeah, it's not great, but it's not alarming. I mean, I increased a lot of taxes and stuff, so it's unsurprising growth slowed down a little bit. But the problem is, like I said, that's where we're going to start seeing
Good morning.
Sodas. Sure, why the hell not? Alright. In the meantime. Inflation 2.5. Excellent. Inflation's down like hell. And we are at 0.98 on the dollar. It's not bad. Like I said, our currency's getting strength. Lots and lots of strength. I just can't, in my heart,
Everything.
start raising all these taxes knowing it's going to demolish my industrial growth. You know? It's hard, man. It's really hard. Sales and profits in the chemical industry continue to increase, despite the same level of manpower. Which I always find weird. Well, whatever. Oh well. So, how goes research? Up to 85,000, so we still have a very vastly huge amount of research rate increase. Like, it's fully funded. Never going to stop with that, that's for sure. Yeah, we need to pretty much fund about as much as possible. Because I wouldn't mind, you know, things like advanced nuclear fission at some point. A fusion nuclear plant would be really nice. God knows what the hell else is in here, but hey, who am I to judge, right? Who am I to judge? Alright, education. Literacy rate's still going down, excellent. We're still pretty bad on the illiteracy part, but we're doing our best. Alright. Yeah. I'm surprised that number is actually going down. Saudi Arabia, don't care. Yep, we appeared at the National Festival.
Good
What's
morning. I didn't come empty-handed. In
up?
fact,
Never do. Let's see. Sodas. Apparently I need to buy soda. Sure. Whatever. Right now, I'm just looking. Because I'd really like to see more so what industry is truly starting to grow. It seems to be electrical materials more than anything. And the chemical industry. Utility vehicle construction's kind of expanded and stuff, so is beer. So, the question now is electrical materials. Who needs it? If anybody. Like, let's look at the global stage for it, I suppose. Because we've got a lot of it. So let's start here. Let's look at the world info. Imports. Iran needs it. And Saudi Arabia. Is that so? Alright. Listen. I know you are currently in need of electrical materials. Or so I hear. Wow. Yeah, that's... Jeez. The problem is they buy it cheap. I can't even come remotely close to supplying them. How's Saudi Arabia doing? On that front? Because electrical materials would be really good. Yeah, that's part of the problem is my economy and the cost of living, and that seems to be really weird. I don't know who's buying our electrical materials, but apparently, whoever they are, you know, they're doing good. The trade balance is 466 billion, so somebody's buying our fucking goods. Who, I don't know, but... let's see, Canada? United Arab Emirates, Kazakhstan, and Spain. Let's take a look around, shall we? I doubt Canada will be of much use to us, but it's worth a shot. Electrical materials, sale of, yeah. I don't think Western countries, I mean, it pretty much would have to be an African country who needs to buy it. If I am to somehow mysteriously get a good bidder for it. I mean, who knows? Who knows? I sure as hell don't. Alright. That's nice. Okay, we got a 150,000 seat stadium there now too. Good. Capital improves. And I mean, inflation's still on its way down. Exchange rate with the dollar. We're at 10.1, yo. Not terrible. And continuing to increase rapidly. Like... I hear you, I hear you, I hear you. That is why I am pleased to announce this will go up to 1.5. There we are. Hopefully that doesn't cause horrifying things to happen. 2161. We'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully. 2161. When we started was 2080, so we've gained 80 billion. In half a year, that's pretty bad. Compared to what we had before, but... I'm gonna have to start taxing the fucking everythings. I don't even know who the fuck you are, but sure. Emptiness in the labs. Not surprised, you guys can't hire people fast enough. 104 billion cash surplus. We expect that. Yep. $168. So, no real change. Okay. No real change. Still going up a little bit. Alright. Like I said, I am going to have to put actual taxes in place at some point. But it's just really hard to do, you know? Really hard to go and say that I need to do this. Because God knows how much it's going to hurt the economy. Slow and steady wins the race and all that, sure, but... Start. Like, that'd be the ideal, I think, tax scheme. Set up here. Maybe it should drop. Here's the real question right now. Like, I can make $1 trillion pretty much off the VAT, is the problem. But I really don't want to use the VAT. The VAT is very, very bad. Value-added tax is the most destructive thing you can propose to an economy. And I mean that. I mean that. It is fucking terrible. But sometimes it may have to be your only option, really. I don't know. I'm gonna have to slowly start, you know, weeding us off of the industry, and I haven't done any in this episode, and that's the most annoying part. I'm just like, I'm being a coward about it. I'm just like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. The reality is, I have to be ready. I don't have a fucking choice. So be it. Democratic Republic of the Congo. Here's the thing, if you need multiple words in the name of your country to describe how democratic you are, you probably are not very democratic. Alright, so we've abolished the income tax. Alright. GDP, yeah, growth rate's not ideal. But like I said, goal right now is more directed towards privatization, and thus having some growth over the service sector as well. I mean, honestly, if I can privatize the entire service sector, that's great. Or, well, not privatize it, but, you know, reduce to minority shareholder status, that'd be ideal. But I know it's going to require me to raise a hell of a lot of tax. Alright. A complicated calculation, yeah. It's a complicated one, alright. It's a complicated one. Okay. Services. Now only minority shareholder. Alright. It's a good place to start. I mean, other good places to start include, but are not limited to, internet services. Like, that one's going to generate such a windfall of wealth, it's not funny. And apparently our excess is now 2%, which is actually kind of concerning. I don't think it should be. Really don't think it should be. Pretty confident in saying it shouldn't be. The game's sometimes a bit tricksy about things, and it gives you the wrong numbers. I'm just like, you know, I don't think it's, there we go. I don't think it's that big. Alright. Yeah. Try and reduce our control over the services sector, and then hopefully we'll see some growth there. It is something that needs to happen, whether or not I like it. Postal service I'll keep, actually. No, you know what? Like I said, my policy now is minority shareholder. No ifs, ands, or buts. For the moment, anyway. This generates such a massive windfall of wealth, and in all honesty, like, it's actually not costing me all that much for a lot of this shit. Because a lot of this shit isn't very profitable. Yeah, there we are. We're down to 0.12% of the GDP. Gonna make this an extra long episode, because I freaking fucked up the first half of it and didn't actually manage to get anything done. It's a good start. Alright. Now we have those companies privatizing, a decent amount of it at least. Oh man, there's been a disaster in Iran. It's a nuclear variety. Boy, that sucks. Yeah, this is why I've been sort of very careful and dismantling of my nuclear reactors. I don't think this game very well very well shows the risks. Because you should be able to keep your nuclear reactor like a 0.00% chance of melting down, let's face it. For the most part in the Western world, we've managed to pull it off. With, you know, only one incident in the West related to a tsunami. It happens. But yeah. Whatever. So, how's solar doing? The sector does not exist. Okay. Coolio. I don't know. I mean, I want to say dismantle this all. Fuck it. Because it's not doing shit for me. It really isn't. Like, it is generating electricity as far as I can tell. But I'm just like, I can make so much money if I just use fossil energy, apparently. So, if I'm looking for ways to reduce taxation, it seems like fossil energy is the fucking way to go somehow. And it shouldn't be. That's the problem I have. But solar literally just is not working. It is not generating any revenue as far as I can tell. A complicated calculation, indeed. We have the resources, and so we won't issue any debt for it. That I know for certain. Because we did just fucking privatize all the things. And get so much money. We're fine. We can definitely afford it. Kind of concerning that the screen exists. I'll find out soon enough. Apparently we took on 150 billion in debt, which I have trouble believing to a degree, but I think I just have this feeling that like anytime we have a surplus, it just kind of evaporates if I don't use it. Like running a surplus does not actually give you anything in this game, as far as I can tell, if you have no debt, which is really fucking strange. Like it seems like I don't have a treasury. That's what I'm saying. It's really weird. I don't know. I don't know. Don't know, man. Gold right now, though, managed to meet all of my energy needs through fossil energy. Services. So now the interesting I want to test is whether or not privatizing this will solely generate me money. Or, you know, what have you here. Will it generate me money? And not reduce my income? Like, does being a minority shareholder actually give me any income from this? Is what I want to know. Because I'm not sure, to be honest. We'll see. Anyway, we elongated the episode to get some shit done. And now we're in the hole a bit, but we're working on it. It's only 150 billion in debt right now. It's easy enough to patch up. I'm gonna have to raise some taxes, though. Which, you know, I hate doing. Something. 27 billion. It's a good start. $35 billion. There you go. Nice place to start. Really should work getting that tobacco tax there anyway. It's one of those things, right? This should be 50% probably. So I'm really trying to discourage gambling. If I can use the vice taxes to my advantage, why wouldn't I, yeah? This company tax to 1%. Double the VAT to 1%. Yeah, that pretty much wipes away the deficit. Yeah, fuck your purchasing power. Your purchasing power is fine. It's a minor issue. Alright. Currency. Inflation rate being 2.1. Nope. Exchange rate increasing. Increasing like hell. Alright. That's why I'm just like, you know, your purchasing power is fine. It's, your purchasing power has been increasing constantly. So we have a balanced budget now, with a little bit of debt reimbursement, which is the interesting thing. Like I said, I'm going to have to save before I do this, because I may have to undo this. We are at September 2028. Like, I actually have to save before I do this, because I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be. I'm just to see. Does being a minority shareholder actually generate me money? Because I've had times where I've been like a minority shareholder in several companies and not nationalizing anything and still not really making all that much from anything. So I'm interested to see if this actually generates me money, and more importantly, how much if it generates me money. Totally privatizing it will generate me 300 billion in wealth. It does indeed generate me money. Okay. We can work with that. That's good to know. I think we're going to take the minority shareholder approach to a lot of things then. Because, you know, state capitalism. State capitalism. I think that's the way forward. We're going to reload after that. That's good to know. Well, thank you everybody for watching. This has been your lovely, lovely host, Kelvin, signing off.